Welcome to lecture 26 for the subject safety and risk analytics. Today's topic is safety reports and use of text analytics under module 6 analysis of safety reports and narratives. We will discuss in this lecture something about safety reports and narratives, then why text analytics, structured versus unstructured data, and different text analytics problems in general, and we also link these problems with safety studies. I'll start with some narratives. We have jotted down 10 narratives taken from some source, and intentionally we kept the narratives only of few sentences, so that we will be able to handle it within this kind of lectures. So, I will not discuss on each of the narratives, but few of them like narrative 6 to narrative 9, we will be discussing what are these things, and thereafter with the help of these narratives we will explain today's topic, that safety narratives and use of text analytics. Why I have shown these 10 narratives here, when I am going to discuss only that 6, 7 and 8 and 9 narratives, that means 4 cases. The reason is that these 10 narratives will be using all through the lectures of this week at different times. Let us concentrate on narrative 6. The narrative 6, it talks about the sulfuric acid tank had been empty due to stock out situation. So, sulfuric acid tank, it was in empty stock out situation. Unloading of acid from a tanker to the tank was under progress. So, this is the tanker and this is our sulfuric acid tank, and this some kind of from the tanker sulfuric acid is unloaded, and I can say it is loaded into the sulfuric acid tank. So, when the tank was almost 65% full, that time sulfuric acid started spurting out from the major leakage in the lower flange. So, here leakage started, and splashes due to the discharge could have caused major burn injuries to the onlookers. Suppose someone is staying here, onlookers. Also, the fumes generated could have caused respiratory problems to the onlookers. So, this is what the small narratives in terms of a operation where the sulfuric acid tank was filled by the tanker, and some workers were also there. And now, how to extract knowledge from these narratives for the purpose, like we want to understand the incident path or hazard triangle, or we want to find out some of the major initiating events, something like this, and also what risk control system fails. So, those many issues we have discussed in previous classes, where we said that you have to prevent the accident using the risk control system, you have to know the accident paths, and so many things we have discussed. So, but if my data is of this nature, so is there any way to develop that some kind of model, and through this model we can extract certain amount of useful information or not. Please understand this is a sample case, and we are using it for illustration purpose only. So this we are defining as case sample case 1. Sample case 2 is basically related to some hot metal transfer point of view, that crane lifting. Here what we are basically trying to tell you, that a crane number 1 lifting ladle from a combined car. So ladle, crane, this is the combined car. From here the crane is lifting the ladle. Now the crane hook and ladle misalignment can cause certain problem like molten steel splash. That is what is explained here. You are getting it? So our second example talks about some kind of material handling. Basically it is hot material handling and using crane, and it's basically material transfer process from one place to another. In the third case, we are basically discussing about some kind of, this is suppose the workplace, this is some kind of housekeeping problem. Housekeeping. Now the narratives for such workplace is written here, where we are saying that poor housekeeping of materials lying scattered throughout the area. Oxygen cylinders that are being used were lying in the horizontal positions. So some oxygen cylinders lying in the horizontal positions. And then you are seeing as a result, basically oxygen cylinders should be vertical, and that is the safe practice. But as it is in horizontal, that is a question of leakage, gas leakage and cylinder blasting. Also the material lying scattered around the workplace may cause trip and fall. So, and this is our sample case 3. Similarly, we have given, although I will be discussing only few of them, but 10 cases we have initially selected. This is another one where you just see that how the basically the scaffolding materials are scattered here and there in a particular place where this water reservoir and ECR building was audited along with M&D and some representatives, and then following findings were communicated to the team. It was observed that scaffolding material is placed horizontally on the pathway near the inclined dike wall and something like this. So essentially what we are basically trying to tell you, that in the safety domain you will generate this kind of text data, not only this much, this small amount, it may be a huge per document, and there will be a large number of such narratives. Some will be smaller in size, some will be much bigger in size. So some may be few pages report, some may be 100 pages reports. So you will be getting it. Now as these reports or narratives are developed based on certain well designed programs, and for the purpose of improving safety and reducing risk of work for the people at work in particular, or maybe people at large in societies, where basically such narratives, such kind of safety programs are mandatory. So you can understand that it's a huge amount of data. So what we want to give you that some idea that how text analytics will be useful in analyzing such narratives, or I can say reports, or in broader sense we can say documents. That is the purpose of this week lecture. So I understand that you now got some idea about narratives. These narratives are in text form. Now, if you want to extract knowledge that will be useful for your purpose, then you have to have some knowledge on text analytics. So I will give you little introduction on text analytics. See, 90% of the world data is in unstructured format, that is given by Oracle Corporation, and text data is unstructured data. Okay, so there are many other unstructured data types, but text data is one of the probably the major share having text data. So I have already given you that if you talk about safety reports, forget about only incidents, suppose talk about safety reports, so you will find out that you will be having incident investigation report, inspection report, audit report, HIRA report, HAZOP report, what not, and maintenance report. So many things are there. So these reports essentially give you some initial information to some extent convincing that what is the purpose of this report, but mostly in the text data. That means although some classified information will be there initially about the, if it is investigation, incident investigation about the incident when happened, some category data you get, maybe some numeric data will be there, but mostly it will cover 90% of the report may cover the textual data. So unless we know how to extract knowledge from such safety narratives, so the safety and risk analytics will remain incomplete, and that is the purpose. Now, when we talk about text data, there are few more important aspects. Basically, you just see that text data are generally produced by humans. I can say by human if I read that enough, by human, because it may be either people opinion or some kind of knowledge base, or offering opportunity for discovering some knowledge, means some like these narratives, safety investigation reports. These are nothing but documenting the why that accident has taken place and what could have done to prevent such accident and how the mitigation was in practice. So many things are there. So these things, this information knowledge base is there, you have to find out. And second important aspect is that whenever you are preparing, means suppose your investigation team preparing the report, but the report will be consumed by again human. So that is another issue, that text will be consumed by human. So please keep in mind these things. So each one hand, when you are preparing the reports, the report should be, even though in narrative it should have the components in, and there should be certain tools which extract the components, because the component or specific knowledge will be used by the human. So one end human is creating, another end human is using it. This particular phenomena you have to keep in mind. Now come to unstructured data that you have already seen here. Although the what is the task? Unstructured data I am not going to define because it is defined several times. So what are the tasks? Basically, your task is that if I have unstructured data like a text data, so how the text data can be formed in this manner or can be prepared in this manner. Okay. So now issue is that if I say the left hand side, suppose gender, then that this kind of some kind of health data it is, blood pressure level, weight, disease. Maybe in the report itself, the individual's gender, their BP, weight and disease code, if it is some occupational health data, it is there. So you have to extract this. You have to create maybe for in if it is you are basically talking about every individual health records, then you will be able to generate this kind of data. Now the database what we have shown in here, this is some kind of safety narratives somewhere at different workplaces, different machines, different systems it was generated. So it may not be just individual like worker specific, but it has also some kind of data which we may not be able to create in this manner, but we may be able to create in a manner called that spreadsheet, some kind of Excel sheet where 0, 1 values can be put at least. Okay, so 1 basically represent that some information is there, 0 represent that information we are looking for, it is absent there. So that is what we are talking about standard format. Basically ultimate aim is that text data to standard database. So the standard database you can understand it's like a 2-dimensional array. X rows represents the basically the observation. In this case as it is text, every document we are considering, so rows represent documents, column represents the word, terms and phrases. So we can discuss, suppose this is document 1, this is another example. Worker found not using fallback arrestor while coming down through vertical ladder through the though he was using safety belt. So what actually we are interested, maybe because of, by some means, basically because of your hazard knowledge, because of your safety ontology knowledge. So maybe you may think that worker is an important word, fallback arrestor another one, vertical ladder another one, safety belt. How many words are there? 4 words. So I can say this is word 1, word 2, like word 4. This is my document 1, if I say. So if I say this is my document 1, and in this manner you are basically creating, suppose there are word n number of words are there, and suppose word 1 is something which is not present in this narrative, so it will be 0, but word 2 let be worker, so it is present, so 1. So in this manner, so your second narratives or second document in this manner you can fill. But saying this is very easy because a small narrative I am reading and filling, but you will be having thousands, millions of such narratives. So you have to have some analytics to find out this kind of structured database. So that means from the unstructured text to structured spreadsheet is not at all an easy task. It requires data analytics algorithm for its development. So the text analytics, that the topics what I will be covering, or I am basically covering in this particular subject. So many of the concepts I have taken from this book by Weiss et al. 2010. In addition, the Manning et al. Book in Information Retrieval also we have gone through. So in the process, many times we may miss to tell the source, but at the beginning I am telling that the source is Weiss et al. 2010 and Manning 2008, but these lectures are primarily from Weiss et al. Okay. So those who are interested to go into more about this is a wonderful book, and you can understand after going through this week lecture. If you read this book, I am sure you will be benefited. So then when unstructured takes some 10 narratives and 4 narratives I already discussed. Now from those narratives, the structured database you are trying to create. Then when we say structured data, what does it mean? This is what is written here. Structured narratives or structured data from the unstructured document point of view, you have to understand that rows and columns, the rows are basically relates to document, I have already mentioned. Columns relates to word, terms or phrases. Which one is important, that you have to find out. If you are interested in each and every word, that also possible, but sometimes word will not give you that meaningful information, so you may create some phrase, maybe sometimes 2-3 words together will create a meaningful topic, so that way you have to understand. So one end it can be word, it can be topic, it can be terms, phrase, whatever you can say. And then what will happen, the spreadsheet is generated, that means word on the columns, documents on the rows, and the respective, whether it is present or not present, that word, term or phrase, 0, 1 you will place, so you will get a spreadsheet, this spreadsheet. But the interesting part of text analytics is that when you are converting the text to the spreadsheet model, you will find out that there will be large number of zeros in many or large number of cells. So that is called sparseness of the data, that's sparse. Majority of the cells contain 0. So another one, this values, attribute values are positive. Missing data may not be a problematic one, because when it is nothing is available, you will be putting 0. So far what we have discussed then, that what is text data, how text data is converted into a parse spreadsheet, and that spreadsheet what it contains. Okay. Next, what you will do, suppose all many text or narratives or documents with you, and you will convert into up to that spreadsheet, but you want to use the spreadsheet for certain purpose. This is basically, we are saying that the use of text analytics. Text analytics in general sense, there are many uses because it is applicable to all domains. So one of the uses is clustering or organizing documents. What does it mean basically? Whenever document coming to you, so you are putting in that store, in the sense maybe your server. Okay, so that means the document collection. So documents are coming one after another. I can tell you that in a large plant, we have seen that they are generating more than lakhs inspection report every month. So all are basically coming and being stored. That is document collection. Now, if you are interested to segregate those documents into different categories, in the sense that some will documents of certain types, then when your database documents are coming in a very large number, it is manually intractable. So what you have to do, you have to have a machine learning algorithm with you, which will help you in categorizing the document into different groups. If you know beforehand that what is the name of the group, then you can very easily put there. But if you don't know based on the contents in the document, it will come under which group. For example, whether it is an audit report, inspection report, investigation report, whether the particular inspection talking about a high risk plant, a medium risk plant, or a low risk plant. So different ways the document can be grouped. So that is known as clustering. Clustering means I have large amount of documents with me and I don't have a priori knowledge at least that which document should go to where, when the class or the group names are not available. So what are you doing? Basically you are analyzing the documents properly and then finding out based on the purpose where how many groups are there, and then after that you can give the name of the groups. So this is basically some kind of unsupervised classification you can think of. Although the classes, because the classes are not known, later on by seeing the documents in particular group we can name the group. For example, we have considered 10 different cases. So we are saying these are 10 different documents. Now if I use cluster analysis, I may found that the documents are basically grouped into three classes. Okay, I have taken 12 documents here, not 10, this is 12. So 12 documents, so and then these are grouped into three categories. The purpose is, this is basically important to understand, because it is not that you don't think that one document you are seeing and that is enough. You have the thousands of documents. So and they are basically stored in the computer and online logging is taking place. So that this classification scheme is very important to segregate the documents into meaningful clusters. So it helps in extracting similar document of interest for purposeful analysis also. Okay, so that is basically the document clustering. Now I will go to the next one. Here from the safety in the safety domain, how this clustering can be thought of. The 10 narratives, the 10 documents, if you read manually, you will find out that there may be 2 from the incident investigation side, means 2 are incident investigation report, then 5 inspection report and 3 may be audit report. So these 3 by nature they are different. So when I want to understand that what is happening, it is always better to have investigation report separate to inspection to audit. Maybe there are commonalities, but we have to segregate it first from analysis point of view. So that means one kind of clustering could be like this. Another clustering could be that some of the documents, as I told you, high, low, medium risk documents, or maybe different kind of hazards point of view, because some documents talking about process hazards, some document talking about technology hazards, some document talking about environment hazard. You have to automate it. You have to have an algorithm. That algorithm read the document, scan the document, and you'll understand that which group it should place. But which group it should go, that if that will be done, if it is done unsupervised way, then that is the clustering. Now classification, document classification is another one. That means you know, a priori you know what are the group names. For example, here a very general example I have given. Suppose there are 3 kind of documents: household related, finance related, school related. Think of a government, some kind of that any state or central government you can think of. So you just see that what actually happening here, they are dealing with suppose people welfare point of view. So the household, finance and school related documents are prepared, and it will be again huge in number. So what actually required here is basically that I know what document coming from where, and I know a priori that how many classes are there, and I want to develop one algorithm which ultimately classify a new algorithm and put in the appropriate folder. So that may be the case. So this is known as classification. So, classification, it is a supervised one, because I know beforehand, I know that how many classes are there, and later on when I will be discussing on the more of the analytics point of view, like techniques point of view, no, all are everything is under analytics, but talk to techniques point of view, then you will see that in analytics, when you use the techniques, when you develop the algorithm, there will be training and test data. The training data where all the classes as well as the other features of the documents are considered, and the program is trained, and new document when it comes, it reads the scan the document, and then it basically place it to the appropriate class. So, that is what is the classification. This is also important, because you just see that I will show you some of the here what happened. Suppose the 4 cases, narrative 6, 7, 8 and 9 we discussed, and suppose we want to understand that under which class, it is a audit, inspection or investigation. So, then what happen when the case 1 will come, if I have then what will happen, it will case 1, case 2 they scan and find out that one is case 4 is audit related, case 3 is inspection related, case 1, case 2 investigation reported related. That is basically first level of document classification. Then what happened again, suppose you can go for the second level, maybe incident investigation report, which kind of basically hazard it is. It is related to process hazard, technology hazard, environment hazard. So, here 2 documents, so coming under process, one under process, one under your technology. Or the other hand, you can think of that, you know that what are the accident causing mechanisms. So, you want to understand from that in the case 1, what is the accident causing mechanism. Similarly, case 2, under which accident causing mechanisms it falls. So, that also you will be able to do. So, this is the way basically you can use the classification technique in the safety domain. Again, I am repeating the case, it is not the case by case basis, it is analytics means you have large collection. Document classification, and now safety audit, this case 4, now case 4 whether it is medium risk, low risk or high risk situation, that also you can do using the classification. Next is information retrieval. See, I want to develop hazard triangle. In hazard triangle, what are the minimum requirement? I must have hazardous element, I must have initiating event, initiating mechanism, or I can say better word is accident causing mechanism or incident causing mechanism, where IE is there, PVs are there, initiating event, pivotal events are there, as well as death target. Minimum I require this thing. So, because if all are safety related, giving safety related information, so then I want to extract which hazardous element in the first report, how many hazardous elements, what are these. So, in this manner similarly, and what are the different, is it an incident data? So, if it is, then what is the accident causing mechanism, how accident is caused, who are affected. So, such kind of information if you want to retrieve, then also you will be able to use it. What I am basically trying to tell you here, what actually it does in information retrieval, that information retrieval is finding materials or documents of an unstructured nature. See, document is always unstructured, that satisfied information need from within large collection. So, the unstructured text going through information retrieval program, and then you are developing some kind of hazard triangle. So, that is the issue. So, it may not be possible that in one step the hazard triangle will be formed, but maybe there will be some repetitive steps. For one may be for hazardous element, another may be for accident causing mechanism, third one may be target and threat. Then finally, after seeing all the documents, and then you will be able to find out that what is the hazard triangle there. So that is also very necessary part, because we have seen that the hazard triangle concept is not effectively used in industry, and but large amount of data available in the text form, and that can be used, and some kind of program, if it is developed, automatic hazard triangle development, that will be very good one. So I will very quickly give you that what actually how the information retrieval, because you have seen earlier that our document for the case examples, our document of 3 categories: workplace inspection, incident investigation, audit. Suppose the 2 cases 1 and 2 we are considering, then we are matching with the document, then it is incident investigation document. Now for case 3, if you want to match it, it will be workplace inspection, and case 4 it is safety audit. So that is, but already collection is there. Now you are retrieving that what kind of things is this. Then second, after this, the next level is see case 1 hazard 1, case 2 hazard 2, case 3 hazard 3, case 4 again hazard 3. So if I go to the next, maybe you may be interested in terms of accident causing mechanisms for different cases under which category, that also you can find out. Last one actually, that information extraction. Here objective is, you please understand, take an unstructured document and automatically fill in the values in a spreadsheet. That is what I said, that we have to develop some spreadsheets. So then the procedure is what Weisserdahl given: unstructured state, linguistic processing, identify information content, and then make the structure database, structured database. So how the accident path component can be extracted from the text, that is what is shown here. You see that these particular narrative 6 or our case 1, you must have the program which will read it, and then they fill the spreadsheet, because in accident causation path we considered hazardous element, accident causing mechanism, and then threat, target, RCS, MRCS. Okay. So actually this we are basically talking about, although that this is not required, this is not required, this is wrong thing. So observation, hazardous element, accident causing mechanism, then threat, target, preventive RCS. This one I can say, this is basically also in the if you want to include this, actually this is a type of mistake. Actually this is the incident, what incident takes place. So that, sorry for this type of mistake, that this is the incident, means hazardous element, incident causing mechanism or accident causing mechanism, incident or accident. Then what is, if that incident or accident happen, what is the threat, who are going to be affected, like this. So in this manner basically we want to find out data from each of the narratives. If I have 1000 narratives, I will be having 1000 observations. Okay, maybe it may so happen that in one narrative there could be more than one path, so it will be that k times 1000, that will be 1000 k times that observations you can generate. And once you are able to generate this kind of information database, that is the ultimate thing I am talking about. That is what is the beauty of this text analytics from our purpose. What is our purpose? Accident prevention and consequence mitigation, safety and risk analytics point of view. So similarly, you can see the second one, and again I will tell you that here is this one, you write this hazard and this incident, what kind of incident it is, and then the third last one is again case 3 is basically slip, trip, fall accident or incident, and then your case 4 is again it was observed that is also slip, trip and fall related accident. Okay, so that is what we will be very happy that once we have this kind of spreadsheet developed using so much of text analytics techniques, so you are having a structured database. Once you have a structured database, you can think of prediction. Okay, prediction means what you want to predict. So some kind of class you want to predict. The predictive safety analytics will be discussed later on, but for the time being, what I am saying that from the text data also, once the text data converted to some kind of structured spreadsheet data, then using this data you can also do prediction. In addition, if you have structured data from other sources that which are matching with this, those variables or attributes can be taken, and finally the entire data base or data set will be used for prediction point of view. Now what you will predict? You can predict many things in the safety domain. The minimum one people will be say that what is the probability of having an fatal accident in a particular location at particular point in time, so that whether that is possible or not. Anyhow, so now from the word as well as document point of view, these 4 cases, this spreadsheet is this. And now see, suppose I want to predict that what incident category can be predicted, unsafe conditions can be predicted, whether risk control system successful or fail, that can be predicted. Similarly, you can create leading lagging indicator related prediction model also, absolutely that is possible. So there is enough scope once you have a structured data from the text. So I hope that I have given you some useful information from text analytics point of view and their uses in safety and risk analytics. So what we basically said in nutshell, as text is unstructured, it should be converted to structure. There are many various steps to do, and once the structured database is created, so you will be able to do good, even predictive analytics also possible. But in order to create the structured database, we that clustering to that I can say that information retrieval or information extraction point of view, whatever we have discussed, all are very useful in this particular subject. Thank you so much.